Do you know what's getting a lot of attention these days? Our attention span. And the numbers are pretty shocking. Do you know that on average, we can give no more than 47 seconds of our attention to a particular task? Now, for context, that is 1/3 of what it used to be. In 2004, we could give something 2.5 minutes of undivided attention. Now, it's 1/3 of that. And it's only getting shorter. And here's an even more startling discovery. If we get distracted, it takes us an average of 23 minutes to restore our focus onto the original task. And this information was created by the incredible work of a lady by the name of Gloria. She is a 20-year-plus veteran of the human-computer interaction. She's the Chancellor's Professor at UC Irvine, and Cal Newport, who wrote the book Deep Work, described her as the definitive expert in distractions and multitasking. So the credibility of this information is unarguable. But in this video, no one's going to give you a hard time about just focus and just use all of your willpower. It doesn't work like that. In this video, I'm going to share the 5 really practical things that Gloria has discovered in all of her work that actually helps people dramatically increase the amount of attention they can give to a particular task. And by the way, the attention that she's measured through her work is how much time a person can focus on one screen for. What that might look like is that you're staring at a screen, reading a document, and it'll take you 47 seconds before, oh, I'm gonna look at my phone. Oh, who's that that's walked into my office? And what's going on behind me? All of those are distractions, and they take place after just 47 seconds of focus. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you what a day looks like if you do apply Gloria's 5 practical steps to dramatically improve the level of attention you can give to a particular task. So this is not something that you need to study for weeks to learn. This is something that you can literally apply tomorrow and have a much better day. Let's take a quick look at why has this happened? Well, one of the reasons is absolutely our training. We've been trained by algorithms that are actually not designed for our well-being or our mental health even. They're just designed to get us to give all of our time and attention to platforms or devices. Also, the sort of media that we're consuming now has conditioned our mind to expect how we're going to receive information. And these days, distraction is everywhere, and it's really fun. I mean, I can look at my phone right now and find 15 apps that are fun and entertaining and interesting, and they are so well designed to capture my attention. I mean, back in the day, all that we had to distract us was the newspaper and Bob next door. Now, there's a whole world of distractions. One of the reasons that I'm not going to give you a hard time about your willpower or tell you just to force yourself to focus, because that doesn't work. You see, there's a thing that I discovered in this research. It's called oxygenated glucose. That's a term that describes the metabolic process happening in our body that creates energy that we use in our body. One of the biggest consumers of this energy is our brain. It consumes 20% of the energy that we create. Do you know what uses a lot of oxygenated glucose? Willpower. Just trying to force yourself to do something takes a lot of energy. Do you know what else takes a lot of energy? Distractions. See, when you go from one screen to the other, and then to your neighbor, and then to what was that over there, all of that is actually using a lot of energy. And the cruel metabolic irony is, all of that energy is the same as the energy required to actually focus. So all the energy that you would need to focus on something disappears if you're trying to force yourself to focus. That's why these 5 simple practical things don't rely on willpower. And if you can build a process whereby you're not constantly being distracted, well, you're not depleting your energy through the distractions, which leaves much more energy for you just to focus on things that are actually important. Here are the 5 things. Number 1 is goal clarity. Now, if you're clear on something, you're far less likely to get distracted by other things. Here's a simple example. If it's your goal to just work on the report, well, that's an easy thing to be distracted from because there's not a lot of clarity in that activity. Instead, if your goal is that by lunchtime, you're going to have finished the first 3 pages of the report, that's a very clear outcome. And that is far less likely to lead to distractions. So just get clear on what you're working on. Number 2, Gloria says, is design your environment to decrease the number of distractions that naturally occur. For example, put your phone in another room. And for me personally, that works wonders. I know that if I've got to get something done and my phone's sitting right there, that's just a recipe for distraction. So I will just very deliberately put it in the other room, and it does change everything. Also, please don't let your emails make a sound every time they come in. In fact, create your environment so that when you want focus, your emails are far from your attention. They're just closed. Your Wi-Fi is disconnected, and there's just one tab open on your screen or a document that you're working on. Similarly, number 3 is quiet time. There's an organization here in Australia, actually. They ran let's call it a software company. And they were very specific about the value and the quality of quiet time. They gave all of their employees their own closed door office because they knew how important it was for them to be able to sit in a room and concentrate without distractions. They became an incredibly valuable company, and a large part of it they attributed to the quality of the work that they were able to produce with a relatively small team. So create quiet time between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. There's no phones, there's no Wi-Fi, and there's absolutely no meetings or phone calls or anything that would distract me. It's my quiet time. The 4th one is a bit more fun. These are what Gloria describes as strategic breaks. She says, look, if you're working out at the gym, you probably take a break between the sets because you need to recover. You need to just restore your energy and then do it again. Similarly, she says, give your brain a break. Strategically install break time where you can just scroll mindlessly or just allow your brain to feel good about something, which will then restore its energy that you can use to focus on the next thing. Strategic break time. And the 5th one is slightly harder. It's just don't respond. Like, it's not that important. That your mate can wait. Like, he's not demanding an answer right now. Even your boss can wait, because the way you prioritize things often gives a level of urgency to things that just don't require that urgency. You know what's urgent? Focus. The task that you're on now. So just don't respond. If you're working as part of a team, you might develop a reputation for the person that's actually got some real discernment about what they will and won't respond to. Don't be the person that's just guaranteed that is always going to be the first to respond, because if you're always the first to respond, you'll always be the first one that they call upon. So what does a day or a morning look like if you're implementing these practical strategies? I've written out what a morning could look like. Let's start at 8 a.m. You might write down your one goal for the first focus block. Complete the draft of the client proposal, sections 1 to 3. A very clear goal. 8:05 to 9:30. The phone goes in another room, notifications go off, emails are closed, we're working on the proposal. 8:05 to 9:30. 9:30 to 9:45, scheduled strategic recovery. Walk around, get a coffee, scroll your phone, guilt-free. This is the designated window for it. 9:45, write down the next goal. Respond to 3 priority emails from yesterday. That's a very specific, clear goal. 9:50 to 10:30 a.m. Focus block on email, no other tasks. 10:30 to 10:40, recovery window, Instagram, TikTok, and so on. The rhythm matters more than the exact times. Focus, recover, focus, recover. And that's what it looks like to take your average focus time from 47 seconds and restore it to something that allows you to have a great day every day. Thanks so much for watching. This is Low Ted. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.